You see your target, a plump, juicy cargo ship carrying weapons, food and propaganda to the enemy. You line up your submarine. You ready your crew to dive at any moment. You tell them to fire. Your man shouts, "Loss!" and... Has this ever happened to you? You wanted to play Silent Hunter 3 after probably watching our video on it. For some reason, it got more views than we expected. We expected it to have like 10 views max. And you hopped into the game without knowing how to manually target torpedoes? You don't want to use the automatic solutions because Chadwick from high school makes fun of you for it.
Meine Fresse, gib dir mal den Nackaffen. Da kann ich mal den Winkel des Schiffbogens berechnen.
That's why I'm here, the LARPer Grand Admiral Anzei Kazumi of the fictional country of the Imperial Third World Reich. I am here to teach you all about manual torpedo targeting and all the other shit you need to know to become a seasoned seaman. First, here's my mod list. Download it, use it. If not, this video will be a tad bit confusing, but the computations are the same. Probably. Don't worry, I leave timestamps in the description if you just want to skip to the actual computation part. Now, find yourself a target. I usually only use torpedoes when against a convoy since single merchant ships can be taken out by the deck gun. But if you're a beginner, this is a good place to practice, like how Anakin practices with the kids. Make a search pattern, go to periscope depth because your hydrophone is thirsty, and listen.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick.
The sound of their fat ass cheeks will be heard. Ready your stopwatch, get your favorite pencil and mark him on the map. Wait exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds. When the timer hits 3 minutes and 15 seconds, mark their new position. Now draw a line between the two and you'll get how far the ship has traveled. Why the fuck did you do all of this? 2 reasons. 1. You know where the ship is heading, thus making it easier for you to plan an interception route. 2. See that line you drew? It has a measurement, a number. Multiply that by 10 and that's the ship's speed in knots. Remember that. You'll need it later. Now that you know where the ship's going, plan an interception route. Make sure that you have the best approach. Usually it's a 90-degree angle from the submarine to the target's course. Once you're near, go to silent running. This will force your sub to go very slow. We want that. Even while waiting, you want your sub to be moving so that you can go to a dive as soon as possible. Raise up your one-eyed snake and wait for the target. This is also the perfect time to double check the target speed. Tell your hydrophone operator to focus on the nearest merchant vessel and do that whole speed check again. Remember, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. If you're attacking multiple ships, as long as they're in the same convoy, they should be moving at the same speed, unless they're destroyers. Now that the hard part is over, here comes the easy part. Identify what ship it is. In this example, I know just by a glimpse that this is a medium cargo. How? Because I play too much of this game. But take your time to see what ship it is. While looking through your periscope, click the identification manual to open it. It will start with Albania, because Albania is the source of all the world's problems. Click the left arrow to go to the merchant ships. Then, click the book again to open it to the merchant ships section. Using the left and right arrows, look for what kind of ship it is. Usually, I look at the things jutting out of the ship, like the wire eye masts and the location of the funnel. Note, for beginners you can cheat a bit by pressing F12. This will send you to an external camera. Using the mouse and the arrow keys you can move around. Hold shift to move around faster. You can use this tool when you're starting out to learn how to recognize ships. You can then press
F2
to go back to the submarine. Remember, you can't pull up your recognition manual in this view. Once you're sure, click the small checkbox to feed the targeting solution the information about the ship. Once you've identified the ship, it should appear at the notebook at the upper right. You may be wondering, what is that thing? That's right, that's the handy-dandy notebook from Blue's Clues, before it ran away to Argentina to avoid his war crimes. Now you need the range. With your periscope, lock onto the target. It's important that you lock onto the target because the periscope will feed the target's bearing constantly into the targeting solution. In monkey language, scope tell computer where bad guy is. Now then, using the handy-dandy notebook, you can measure the range. Level your periscope to the target's waterline, and with the range tool, place the second line on the top mast. Now you've fed the range into the targeting solution. You have identified the ship. You know its speed and know its range. Now is the angle of bow. It's quite easy. Honestly, I just wing it. Question: is there a correlation to my angle of bow computations and all of my missed shots? Maybe. To help the beginners out, look at the map. If you have line of sight of the target, it will show as a ship on the map. If you zoom close enough, you can see a circle around your submarine. That's the bearing circle? Anyway, it has the important divisions of 45 degrees and 90 degrees. You can use this as your guide. In this video, I set my firing solutions to salvo, so that it'll shoot both tube 1 and tube 3. I then set the spread of the salvo low, so that both torpedoes can hit the target. Then, I wait for the target so that the angle of bow is in 45 degrees. Using the same tool, I know that he is around 1,200 meters away, so I manually set that as well. The bearing is locked. The speed is 8 knots. The range? 1,200 meters. Angle of bow? 45 degrees. Tubes 1 and 3 are ready. You're ready to fire, so slam that fire button. That's the trick to manual torpedo targeting. Many redundant measurements so that you can make sure that the torpedo hits the target. Note that at the end there, I used the map tools to set the range, meaning that the previous range measurement using the notebook was ignored. This is just my personal preference because I find the notebook inaccurate sometimes, and I just use the map tools and my eyeballs to measure it. You might be wondering why I'm so close to the target. That's normal. Sometimes you have to do this to go inside convoys to target the fattest ship, so firing from rifle range is what I often do. Now then, let's see if the torpedoes hit.
Torpedo-Treffer! Torpedo-Treffer!
And that's it. That's the end of the tutorial. Now go out there and slap some convoys. If you enjoyed the video or learned something from it, hit the like button. Hit the dislike button and comment if you hated the video or if I did something wrong. This video was kinda late, and that's because we honestly thought that the Silent Hunter 3 video wouldn't perform well. But it did. I don't know what the next video is, but the next video from me will be more for the generals. If you like our videos, consider going to our Patreon or buying us a Ko-fi. It'll help the channel out. This video, however, is free because I doubt the 2 patrons in our Patreon will have a use for this video. I am Admiral Anzei Kazumi, and remember, unrestricted submarine warfare is based